Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. We're kind of continuing on the showcase, but we're doing what we usually do. We're taking a newly EZA'd unit or a new unit into ESBR to test them out here. But I kind of want this one to be almost a continuation of the initial showcase of the EZA HACCHAN in 17. Just to kind of further emphasize what I was saying about them, I do think they are and they will be a very good Super Battle Road unit. And the Android's ESBR stage, funny enough, is actually more of a recent stage. Is it one of the most recent ones we've seen, like completely up to date? No. But even so, it's one of the more recent ones. So this is going to pack a little bit of a punch. This is definitely going to test them out properly. But I did want to bring them in a more realistic environment if you were going to use them as an alternative. As I said in their showcase, you know, their link set as an actual set as a whole, not that great. There's some good defensive links in there considering this is a more defensively focused unit. However, in terms of the category they're on, and you know, it primarily being an extreme based category because it's androids, considering they only go on two categories, androids and droid forces, not a lot of the android units have these units that they have. The most common link we're going to be having active and that you would have active on an android's category team will be Android Assault, and that is literally it. You know, typically in harder content, you're not going to be bringing Android 14 and 15 with you to get a few more of those links active. So realistically, if you're going to be bringing these two as an alternative, which as I said, they're going to be very good for SPR, I do not doubt that. However, this is how they're going to be running realistically. Just because, again, we're going to be having hardly, literally, look, we only have one link active, which is Android Assault, which is giving us an extra 10% defense, which, to be fair, as a link set, it's not the best because you're not going to get these links active. However, they don't really have much damage going for them. They're just here to tank. So it's kind of their only downside, but at the same time, because that's not why you're bringing them, it doesn't really ever come up as an issue. But we do have the Giro and 19 support, which is giving us key +3 and attack and defense plus 40%, which means getting a super attack off with these guys is going to be relatively easy every time they're about. Not to mention, we also have this guy's support when, of course, there's double leads as well, where he's given key and attack and defense plus 30% as well. And that's another thing I was saying in the showcase. The androids category is literally, whether it's, you know, a summonable Dokkan Fest, a sideban unit like the 19 and Giro, you know, an actual support unit, you know, regardless, or EZAs, a lot of the android category, literally 2k. We don't even have the 25% damage reduction. We have a Whis active, yes, we have some support, and we have guaranteed guard, and we're taking 2k. Yeah, we're tanking double digits. Like, yes, we have two sets of support from 19 and Giro and Android 13, but that's what I was just about to get onto. The androids category, not only does it have some of the better units in the game and one of the best Dokkan Fest TURs and, you know, things like that, some very good EZAs, but it's chopped filled to the brim with a plethora of units, whether they're summonable Dokkan Fest, sideban units, actual supports, EZAs, anything like that. It's chopped filled with units that have some type and form of support in their passive. So a lot of times the units you're bringing, they're offering like key +1, attack and defense plus 20% here, key +2 and attack and defense plus 30% here and there, and then the actual support from 19 and Giro. Like, there's a lot of units that have some form of support in their passive. So yes, you won't be getting hardly any of their, literally hardly any of HACCHAN and 17's links active, but the amount of support you could potentially have on a team kind of makes up for it. Yes, obviously, ideally, it would be great if you could have the support on top of, like, some links active. But it makes up for a lot of the links they're missing. And a lot of the time, you know, without the support, they may not be able to get a super attack off, which, to be fair, wouldn't really be a problem because, you know, raising your attack by 30% on super, I mean, as we've already seen, isn't really going to do a whole lot for them, even with support on, especially while having no links active. But even while having support, it's not really going to do hardly anything for them in the long run. But that high chance of stunning in the Super Battle Road is something that's quite valuable, especially with how tanky they are and how useful stunning an enemy can be and having a 50% chance to do so. So it is quite nice that we can more consistently get that high chance to stun off with the amount of support that goes on Android's category. But for the most part, it kind of makes up for the fact they're not going to have that many links active, but it just helps them tank a little bit better, which is mainly why they're here. I said you're not going to be bringing them to deal damage anyway, because they don't have a lot of force behind their numbers. I mean, you've seen it. You're talking like just over 2 mil. That's nowhere near the standard of what we expect nowadays. There's actually a super attack in slot 1. I don't want to heal because we've got a damage. Actually, I'm not going to heal. I'm going to Whis, and we should be good. Because right now, they've got their 25% damage reduction. They have guard, which that's another thing I said. You know, typically on average, you're spending 5 to 6 turns inside of a Super Battle Road fight. Or depending on if you have dupes, if you get lucky with crits, additionals, those type of things, you could probably get it down to 4 turns. So you can utilize their 8-turn guard at all times in Super Battle Road, because of course, once you've done and finished a fight after what I said 5-6 turns, you then go into another fight and it resets. So that's another thing that's very handy. You can utilize their guard very easily here and make the most of it. And they should be able to tank really well. So we're on 3.1 because they got hit, and you know, we have the HP threshold. We also have 25% crit chance right now. We actually managed to stun one of them. Yeah, so we're completely avoiding the super attack. I mean, I actually wanted them to get super attacked, but I didn't actually realize who was hitting the super attack. That's a shame. I actually wanted to see it. I actually wanted to see how much they were going to tank for. 25% damage reduction, guard, and a Whis active. See how much they tank the super attack for. I mean, still, as I said, that's one of their most viable tools, or most valuable tools, shall I say, that's, you know, attached to their kit. Not only do you have the 25% damage reduction and the guard for 8 turns, but you also have a 50% chance of stunning. Not to mention as well, you can rainbow them out for free, or rainbow them out for free. And you can launch an additional where you potentially could have another 50% chance to stun and actually have it come off. Let me pop this. So we've got some extra defense and a Whis active. We should be good for this turn. Not to mention he's stunned, so yeah, we're good. So let me just go bully Rildo then. We might as well hit the AoE on you or with you, and then we hit another type advantage attack with Android 13 on Rildo. So yeah, I mean, while there is some obvious downsides to this EZA, in terms of why you would be bringing them, which, as I said, a very good defensive and good tanking free-to-play EZA alternative, they do that job incredibly well. They are going to be able to do that job incredibly well. The only other downside is already what I mentioned during the showcase, which is they only have 2 categories. So in terms of where you're actually going to be utilizing that, you don't really have many outlets. If you've already done the Android category ESBR, I mean, right now at least, and probably for a while, you don't really have anywhere to take them. And obviously join forces, you're not going to be bringing them. I mean, you could bring them there because, again, their link set isn't the best. You just have them there to tank. So, I mean, you could if you really wanted to. If your join forces category, if like in your box, if your join forces category is looking like that bad, like it's looking quite barren. Rildo's actually stunned. Okay, cool. If it's looking that bad, I mean, you could, sure. You could definitely bring them and just have them float. I think realistically, their best position on a team is probably going to have them floating in slot 3, just tanking any attacks that come their way. You know, that's literally all they're there for. They can literally just sit in slot 3, tank. You won't really have to worry about them. I think that's probably their best bet, especially because of how bad their links are to be having them on main rotation, especially on a join forces category. So, I mean, realistically, could you take him into a join forces ESBR? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you probably could, especially because of where I reckon their best role would be, which is floating in slot 3. Would you do it? Probably not, but if your join forces category is looking quite barren, you don't really have that many units for it, and maybe they're the only decent alternative you have, you could probably squeeze them on there and they would do a job to just tank. And considering, again, they're a free-to-play EZA, they're actually very, very good at tanking. But so far, we haven't really got to show them off too much, exactly what I'm talking about, which is a shame. We're going to get super attacked. Do you know what? I'm going to say no to that super attack. I don't want to heal because we've got the damage reduction. Like, I know we could have put, like, 19 and Giro up there, but at the same time, I don't really want to split this rotation up. And again, I don't really want to heal either, because then I can keep our HP where it is, because we're below the 80% HP threshold. That way we get the 25% damage reduction on top of the guard. And then hopefully we can see them tank like a super attack, or just tank one more time before we're done on this fight. Also, I want to keep it going into the final fight as well, just so we have it active. I really don't care about this. This guy really needs an easy A. Like, he's aged a lot. He really needs an easy A. I mean, he already has a good foundation going for him, especially with the support built in. So right now, we don't have an item active. I can't remember. Do you keep the support? He doesn't. So right now, this is no item active, no support, hence why literally we're not even going to be able to get a super attack off with them. 25% damage reduction. We're on turn 5, so we still have the guard. So this is just pure 25% damage reduction and guard and type disadvantage, which doesn't matter because, again, we have guard. Double digits. This is what I mean. And they're being supered. How much are they going to tank for? 85k. Now, that's actually pretty good. 85k. Again, they literally only have one link active, which is Android Assault, which is giving them, what, defense plus 10-20%, round about that region. None of their other defensive links, which is primarily what they have, are active. And they have guard and damage reduction. No support, one link active, which is giving them 10%, 20% defense. And that's it. 85k on a super on one of the more recent ESBR stages. Yeah, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. Are we going to get Dokkan attack here? I mean, I really do hope we are. Because this will be a very good turn to get Dokkan attack on. I don't think we actually are going to get... Actually, are we? Don't actually know if we're going to get it. I'm going to Usher just to be safe, because I feel like we are going to get it, but at the same time, I don't. Yeah, we're literally like a pixel off. We're going to get it next turn. We're going to get it next turn. That's a shame. But yeah, man, they're doing really, really well. As I said, even their major downsides, which is the categories only being on 2, you know, they're a super unit on an extreme-based category. In Androids, their link set isn't great. You literally only have one link active. They're not even issues. While you're actually using them, it doesn't actually become issues. Like, it doesn't actually make an impact of how they perform. Like, yes, they're not doing as much damage as they could do, but naturally, this unit doesn't do that much damage anyway. And that's not why you're bringing them. So is it really that much of a problem? Like, it doesn't make that much of an impact. They're here to tank, and that's exactly what they do. So again, we have the 25% damage reduction, we have the guard, we have some support, and we have an Icarus active, which is what, 35% for 2 turns. 130k defense. I don't want them to get the Dokkan attack, so I'm going to avoid giving it to them. We'll let Super 17 have it. He's literally not really built up whatsoever, so this isn't really going to do that much damage, which is kind of a waste, but still doesn't really matter. Of course, double digits on basics. We're getting super attacks. Again, this shouldn't really do too much. Yeah, 96 damage. 96 damage. That's with the 19 and Jiro support. That's with an Icarus, not even a Whis, an Icarus active. They even got an additional. They could even stun right now. Are they going to stun? 50% chance to stun. No, but actually done quite a bit of damage. This is going to do nothing because we have type advantage against you, but we're not going to do it. Yep, 35 damage. They are doing the job that they are meant to do incredibly well. Incredibly, incredibly well. Their damage output, really not good at all, but that's not why you're bringing them. So, I mean, it just kind of doesn't matter. Would it be nice if they were doing, like, just over 4 million attacks, that kind of around, you know, that kind of standard for, like, you know, Dokkan units nowadays? Yeah, it would be nice if they were doing a bit of damage with how good they are defensively, of course, but is it necessary for why you would be using them? No. No. Are they a very good Super Battle Road unit? Yes. The stun, how good they're tanking, it makes them very good. I'm impressed, man. It's good. It's good. I like this EZA. I like this EZA. As I said, could the damage be a bit more? Is the damage lacking? 100%, obviously. But they tank so well that I don't think it really matters, because the whole reason why you'd be bringing these two is literally to tank. So it just doesn't really matter. It just doesn't really matter that they don't do that much damage. But yeah, that should be this SBR run done. And yeah, I like them. Their EZA is good. They are a very, very good defensive alternative for Android's category. If you're missing some of the heavy hitters, the big boy units, they are a very good alternative. Could they handle harder content than this? I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure. Probably not the best, but maybe they wouldn't be too bad. But I'm impressed. They're very, very good. They are very, very good at what they are meant to do. But don't forget to let me know what you think down in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. And peace.